everybody, Prepper Nurse 1 here. Today's still Thursday, December 19th, 2019. So, long overdue I know with the whole situation. I might as well sit down, I figure, and talk about the situation in Virginia and around the rest of the country. I'm going to share my thoughts with you, and we will go from there, and I'll kind of explain where I'm coming from with this. And I have some questions, okay? So let's look at a couple of things. We're going to talk about the Virginia situation in a second. But let's look at some background in this first. You have Chicago that has the strictest gun laws in the country, and also has the most violence by guns, deaths by guns in the country. Okay? Now, with all of these different places in the country enacting different gun laws and everything like that, and I'm going to include New York too, because I'm in New York, and we had our governor passed the SAFE Act, as he called it, in the middle of the night with no due process, and got it pushed through because of the, it's all run by Democrats here in New York State, as we know, for the most part. So I don't see anything that they are doing, any of these areas of the country, are doing to curb the criminals. They're not going after the criminals. And this is my biggest thing with this, okay? They're not going after the criminals. They're doing absolutely nothing. They're showing me nothing. They're showing you nothing of how they're going to stop the gun violence by criminals, okay? Who they're going after is the law-abiding citizen who is not breaking the law in the first place, okay? Oh, excuse me. If I choose to have a 20-round, 30-round, or 40-round magazine for my weapon, what business is that of anybody else's if I'm not doing anything wrong? Who cares? Why should you care about that? If I'm not doing anything illegal, then why should you care what I have? That would be my first thing, okay? So with these whole things, when they talk about this whole common sense gun legislation, it's all slowly picking apart and making it harder and harder and harder for the law-abiding citizen to be able to protect themselves, to be able to have a gun, to be able to do what is necessary. A great example, and I'm going to give you a great example. We had this year here at the homestead, we had, and I believe he was rabid, a raccoon that was out in the daytime and acting all whacked out. And I went out and I dispatched him, and I used my 12-gauge shotgun to do that. So I'm admitting on camera that I have a 12-gauge shotgun, right? But the thing is, you'll never see guns on my channel. I won't talk about guns on my channel generally as far as what I have. You will not know what I have because it's none of your business. All right? I'm not trying to, say, look how big my D is because I have this gun. It has nothing to do with that. That's nothing to do with why I do what I do as far as that goes. I believe we have the right to be able to, number one, protect ourselves from, now, where I live, we have coyotes, we have black bear, we have obviously raccoons and fishers and all kinds of other things up here that, there's other predators up here as well, which they say are not here, but they are here. I've personally seen a black panther in this area. My daughter was with me when we saw it, okay? It was here, okay? So I had a neighbor say to me that he was out running a trap line, and he never saw it, but he believes there was a cougar, and it was stalking him, okay? So we have predators up here in this area that could do damage to a human being if it chose to, okay? I believe we have our God-given right, if you will, to be able to protect ourselves from that thing. We also have that right to be able to protect our homes. When you take away and you reduce gun legislation and introduce this and slowly take away people's choices or options, you are helping nothing but the criminals. So my question would be to these legislators, to these lawmakers that are making these draconian gun laws. Are you protecting the criminals? Is that what your intention is? Because you're obviously not looking out for the law-abiding citizen. You're not. I have the right, if somebody comes into my home and tries to do me or my daughter harm, to put them down. And if somebody came into my home and tried to do harm to me or my children, I would absolutely put them down. Now, I'm not looking to shoot anybody. It's not like some dream that I have. But again, I will defend myself and I will defend my family. And I don't care what laws they put on the books. They're not going to tell me, that I don't have that right to do that. Now, if that means down the road that, I have to go to prison to protect my children or myself, then so be it. Okay? Because, it's ridiculous that the way that they continuously do things. It's because if their opinion is that they don't feel that people should have this or have that or have the other thing, I don't care what their opinion is. They are not in control of me. If you choose not to have a weapon or of whatever kind, that is your choice, and I will respect your choice to not have one if you don't like them. But just because I choose to, you have zero right to tell me what I can have, how much of what I can have, and what I can do with what I have. As long as I'm not hurting anybody else or infringing on anybody else, as far as, am I going to be out shooting at 2 o'clock in the morning? That would be disturbing the neighbors when they were trying to sleep or whatnot. That's not going to be the case. So, again, so let's go to the situation in Virginia. So you have a lot of counties now are declaring themselves sanctuary counties. Now, these bills that are being introduced that they're going to be voting on haven't even gone in yet. And people are getting ready. You have militias forming. You have people that have said they're not doing anything. And then you have threats from the new governor coming in that, he will call the National Guard and he will disarm people. Well, I'm going to tell you what. If that happens, if they go and try to do that extreme of a thing, you will see people that will fight back. Now, you're going to see people that are going to give up their guns. Absolutely they will, okay? But you're going to see some people that absolutely will not. And they will fight. And you know what? They will probably die. And, but I'm going to tell you what. As a law enforcement officer, I wouldn't want to be put in that situation, to have to disarm or attempt to disarm a law-abiding citizen that has done nothing wrong. I don't understand the mentality. I don't understand the thinking. Why are you not targeting the criminals? Why are you not targeting the people that are making these attacks, that are doing horrible things? Why are we not looking at the mental health state of some of these individuals? Let's go back here, guys, really quick. We're going to go to the Parkland shooting, okay? And this kid that did this shooting down in Florida, all right? Warning after warning after warning to the school, to the police, and none of it was followed up. It was all ignored. It was almost like they wanted it to happen. Now, I hope that that's not the case. But if you have red flags where you have somebody that has severe mental health issues, there is concerns, and that is receiving some form of mental health or is on some kind of a medication, those need to be addressed. Here's another thing I want to bring up. So we're talking about all over the country now. Everybody's yay, yay, yay. A lot of states it's legal. It's great. You can smoke pot now, okay? A lot of states you have to get your medical marijuana card first. Well, with a lot of that, if you have a medical marijuana card, you give up your gun rights. You are not allowed to own a firearm if you have a medical marijuana card. Now, that is ridiculous. That is, again, another way of control. Let's look at the red flag laws that they have going on, okay? If somebody feels or thinks that you may be a danger in your family, they have every right to say, I think that Uncle Charlie is going to go postal. Uncle Charlie is a law-abiding citizen, has never bothered anybody or whatever. Maybe Uncle Charlie's got himself, an AR-15, a shotgun, and a couple of pistols, let's say, okay? He's not bothering anybody, he ain't hurting anybody. But because cousin Suzanne says, hey, Uncle Charlie, I'm concerned, he's not mentally stable, they can red flag that person, go in with zero due process, the states that have passed that, and take away that individual's guns and their rights. And that's not right either. I'm obviously going to sit back and watch what happens with the situation with Virginia. I want to see how far that they push this and see what they're going to try to pass or not pass. But again, you've had a tremendous amount of counties in Virginia that have said, we are a sanctuary county, we're following the Second Amendment, which they should. It should be a universal thing. Guys, I'm going to tell you what, and it has been proven over and over and over again, the only way you stop a bad guy with a gun is to have a good guy with a gun. Law enforcement officers are not always going to be available when these situations happen. They're not. They're not always going to be right there. It could take some time or whatever. If you have law-abiding citizens that are following the laws, that are carrying to be able to protect themselves and other people, and I'm not talking about the ones that walk around with the guns all on their hips, and flashing and showing. I'm talking about the people that are very casually carrying, that you never know they have a gun. I got a buddy of mine. He's got a pistol permit. He's got a concealed carry permit, okay? You would never know that he carries, and he carries everywhere he goes. But he's not about trying to be flashy and showing, look what I have, and this is on my hip, and I'm a tough guy. It's not about that. It's about being in a situation where you have some semblance of control of what can happen in that situation. I would never want to be sitting there waiting to be a victim. And that's what they want us to do with these government rules, these laws that they're trying to pass with the gun control stuff. They want us to be victims. I choose not to be a victim. I choose to be able to defend myself, the people that are around me, and I don't care if they're complete strangers. I want to be in a position where I'm going to be able to defend them and the people that I love and care about. That's what I feel. I definitely want to hear your feedback on this situation. I'm absolutely behind the people in Virginia. They have every right to be able to be pissed off. I think it's great that a lot of the sheriffs in a lot of these counties are standing behind those people in the Second Amendment. You know what? If every liberal in the city wants to disarm themselves, knock yourself out, disarm yourself. But if you have people that wish to be able to defend themselves, and especially, like I said, you're out in the country or stuff like that, you need, it's not just a matter of, I want to have a gun because I think I'm cool. A lot of it is because of situations that happened this year. What would I have done this year if I did not have a 12 gauge to be able to take care of that situation? What, I'm going to wave a stick at the raccoon and say, go away? Or maybe shoo it off and then it goes and attacks somebody and possibly gives somebody rabies. I did what was necessary. I don't like killing anything if I don't have to. But in that situation, there was something wrong with that raccoon and it needed to be taken care of. Not only for the safety of everybody else, but for that raccoon as well. Because if it had rabies, it was obviously suffering, and so it needed to be put down. So, it was the humane thing to do. And again, I don't ever dispatch anything. I don't get any pleasure out of killing anything. It's not about that. But sometimes it's necessary, unfortunately. Okay, so anyway, guys, I want to definitely hear your feedback on this topic. I think it's an important topic. I think it needs to be discussed. I wanted to share my thoughts with you. And again, obviously, I want to hear what you think. And I would love to hear with the people that are anti-gun. I would love to hear your explanation of how you're going to stop the criminals once you've taken away the guns from the legal law-abiding citizens. Because once you make up all these laws and make everything illegal, then all you're going to have is criminals and the police with weapons. And that's not going to happen. I don't see that ever happen. I think you will see civil unrest before that ever happens. I really do, because people are getting to the breaking point. I see it all the time. I see the frustration. You continue to push so far. You can only push somebody so far, and at some point they push back, and that's what I see happening now. So anyway, I definitely want to hear your feedback on this topic. I want to hear what you guys have to say. This video was overdue, but I really kind of wanted to get some information, look what was going on, and kind of just share my thoughts with you guys. Okay? So again, question 1. What are you doing to stop the criminals? Why are you, number 2, why are you going after the law-abiding citizen that's not breaking the law? What is your agenda? Why are you trying to control us completely? And if you are unable to defend yourself, we're allowed to be able to defend ourselves according to the Constitution from all enemies, foreign and domestic. So that really narrows it down, doesn't it? And the other part that I don't think that a lot of these people understand with these draconian gun laws, what part of shall not be infringed do you not understand? Okay? So anyway, guys, that's my 2 cents. I'm putting it out there. I'd love to hear your feedback on this. I think it's something that needs to be discussed. Okay? Have a great day. And remember, guys, we are all in this together. That's important to remember. Also remember to hug and kiss the ones you love. Tell them every single day how you feel. Tomorrow is not guaranteed. We never know what's going to happen in life. Also remember, guys, STD. It's one step at a time, one thing at a time, and one day at a time. Whatever you are trying to do, whatever you are trying to accomplish, you can do it. The only one that's going to stop you from getting there is you, nobody else. Okay? So stay positive, stay happy, stay away from the negativity. I will see you all tomorrow. Prepper Nurse 1, out for now.